Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Now at 6, the manhunt for a suspect crosses state lines after a shooting on a Connecticut college campus.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. I mean, this stuff doesn't usually happen in this area, so it was just weird to see all the lights around and all the streets shut down.
Officials calling him armed and dangerous as their search continues.
And local leaders addressing assault weapons in our state.
I don't think you're serious about guns until you start crime, unless you get those illegal guns off the street.
The message from the governor tonight and how it could impact us in our homes and neighborhoods.
They've taken their idea and bottled it one more time. It's all to benefit our local food pantries. What's Turkey Tonic 2.0? I'm Jim Altman in New Britain. The story ahead on the Fox 61 News.
Plus, a record-breaking jackpot up for grabs. It's a $1.6 billion waiting game. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts right now.
Someone's got to win it. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here in the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We are following developing news tonight. A manhunt is underway for a Hartford man who is allegedly responsible for a shooting.
All of this started at St. Joseph University in West Hartford early this morning, where shots were fired nearby on Albany Avenue. A car rollover that police say could be connected to the shooting. Then, hours later, police found the suspect's car abandoned on the Massachusetts Turnpike.
Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us live in West Hartford with more on what we've learned so far. Carmen.
Ben and Jen, certainly a very chaotic scene for West Hartford police this morning. And since then, that scene has calmed down a lot. Right now behind me, we're just seeing one cruiser parked at the entrance of the university. And just tonight, we learned the university did close early at 2 o'clock for everyone's safety. And now it has turned into a multi-state manhunt. Shortly before 2:30 a.m., West Hartford police responded to a report of a shooting on the west side of the University of St. Joseph. They also then responded to an accident involving one car on Albany Avenue near Bainton Road, leading drivers to take a detour.
This stuff doesn't usually happen in this area, so it was just weird to see all the lights around and all the streets shut down.
Police believe the two incidents are possibly connected.
As a result of that accident and the investigation itself, the occupant of that vehicle was transported to an area hospital with serious injuries.
The university issuing a statement to Fox 61 saying in part, quote, accordingly, the university will close today at 2 p.m. Thereafter, the campus will be restricted to USJ community members only. At this time, only residential students should remain on campus indoors until further notice. Now, a hunt is underway for the suspect, 22-year-old Darnell Barnes of Hartford. Take a good look at this picture. Police say he is approximately 5'5" with a slender body and is believed to be armed and dangerous. A woman who lives across the university sharing her concern.
It's really sad and a little nerve-wracking and for me it's a little nerve-wracking it happens in West Hartford, and at a college.
According to Massachusetts State Police, troopers found the Nissan Pathfinder Barnes was driving with New Mexico plates in the town of Blandford. Troopers did not find Barnes inside the vehicle and no firearms were found. The search for Barnes is continuing in heavily wooded areas, using K-9 teams, tactical units, drones, and a chopper. And again, Darnell Barnes has not yet been found, but Massachusetts residents are advised to stay indoors and call 911 if they do see Barnes or witness any suspicious activity. We've also been told West Hartford Police will be holding a news conference at 6:30, and be sure to tune in on air and online. I'm live in West Hartford. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
Carmen, thank you. We're also following breaking news out of the city of Norwich, where police are investigating a shooting that happened in broad daylight.
Fox 61 Sarah Sanchez is in the breaking news center with new information just in from police. Sarah.
Well, Ben and Jen, the situation is still unfolding in the downtown area of Norwich, as Ben mentioned. Right now, we know one person is in the hospital after being shot in the area of Ferry and Main Street. Now, according to police, a person who had been shot was dropped off at Bacchus hospital. And at the same time, a business downtown called police to report what sounded like a pair of gunshots coming from a nearby parking lot. Now, that caller then saw several vehicles speeding off from behind the Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank on Ferry Street. At this point, police are calling this an isolated incident, and investigators say there's no threat to the public. Police don't have an update on the condition of the man who was shot either. Now, if we hear any new information from police, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. In the Breaking News Center, Jen, back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you. New tonight, Democrats calling it a significant and immediate threat to the safety of Connecticut residents. Republicans are calling it a fear-mongering political stunt just days before an election.
Fox 61's Matt Caron live outside of the state capitol, where today the governor and the attorney general said they will fight to keep assault weapons off the streets. Matt.
Yeah, hi guys. Today, the National Association for Gun Rights just filed an injunction to the state's assault weapons ban. It basically means that they're asking for an immediate repeal of that ban. Just a couple of minutes ago, they sent Fox 61 a statement that reads in part, quote, "The day of reckoning for the state of Connecticut has come, and it is time for them to answer to the Second Amendment for their trampling of gun rights of their law-abiding citizens." Meanwhile, Governor Ned Lamont and Attorney General William Tong, well, they say they're ready to fight.
Nothing is more unwelcome and offensive than radical extremists coming from outside of Connecticut, using our courts to try to attack Connecticut's gun laws.
The National Association for Gun Rights lawsuit and its counterpart lawsuit filed on behalf of the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. Both claim Connecticut's assault weapons ban is unconstitutional.
I am very confident that our laws are constitutional and defensible.
Today's injunction filing comes just days after Governor Lamont floated his interest in making Connecticut's gun laws, already some of the strictest in the country, more strict.
Something I would like to look at.
He's expressed interest in a ban on assault weapons that have been grandfathered in since 2013.
I don't think you're serious about guns until you start crime, unless you get those illegal guns off the street.
But while it's true that about 82,000 assault weapons are already owned in Connecticut, those weapons are legally owned, something the governor calls a loophole. Many of them possessed by retired and active duty military and police. Republicans accuse Democrats of trying to distract voters from the economy and energy prices.
And I think the governor is really just looking for a soundbite, as opposed to putting forth thoughtful legislation that's workable.
I didn't choose this battle. I didn't pick this fight. They did.
Governor Lamont didn't provide any specifics on what a retroactive ban on grandfathered assault weapons would look like or how they might be seized.
Government generally is not allowed to be taking people's property without just compensation.
But Lamont did say he was taking a cue from outside America.
I look over in places like Britain where they have even stricter laws, and they even have lower levels of violence. I'd like to do more.
All right, when you think of an assault weapon, typically you think of a rifle-style gun, but now there's a relatively new device that is circulating on the black market in the dark web that turns a pistol into a machine gun. It's called a Glock switch, and it's making the job of law enforcement extremely difficult. Stay with Fox 61. Coming up on the news at 10 p.m. on Monday, we're going to be diving into that dark web world of the Glock switch to take a look at its impact on the state of Connecticut. We're live here outside the state capitol in Hartford. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. Just a few days away from the November election, all eyes on the 5th Congressional District here in Connecticut.
Incumbent Democrat Representative Johanna Hayes is seeking another term against Republican challenger George Logan.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst has been following this tight race. She joins us in studio now with the latest as we come even closer to Election Day. Emma?
Ben, Jen, definitely a really tight race here. Both the candidates using these final days before November 8th to squeeze in last-minute campaigning and get out the vote. I caught up with both Logan and Hayes this afternoon. They say they're confident heading into Tuesday, and both acknowledging this race could have national implications.
The national parties have both seen this district as absolutely critical
The 5th Congressional District has seen both Democrat and Republican representatives in the past, analysts calling it the last swing and most moderate district in the state. But this seat hasn't been red in more than 15 years.
It's no surprise at all that this district is very competitive.
The 5th is seen by multiple election forecasts as a toss-up, and in a midterm year could have national implications for the balance of power in Congress.
The Republicans only need a net gain of 5 seats to win the House of Representatives. That's going to happen. In fact, they're probably going to win quite a few more than that. But that's presuming, of course, that they're not going to lose seats that they currently hold. So, every seat matters.
Both candidates aware of this. Representative Hayes saying residents can't be complacent.
It will determine who holds the majority in the House. This is a seat where, we have a razor-thin majority as it is, so we need to hold on to every seat so that the work that we've just done will not be rolled back.
Logan telling me he wants to show Connecticut is in play and put the state on the national stage.
Moderate voters and conservative voters from Connecticut have no voice in Washington. And I'm hopeful and confident that on Tuesday, folks are going to want a change from the status quo.
Do you think both parties are looking to this 5th district race as a barometer for future elections?
Well, yeah. I don't know if the Democrats are. They seem pretty comfortable with so many other districts, but I think that that's more the case for the Republican Party. They see that the 5th district could be possibly the genesis of some type of Republican revival, in Connecticut.
Now, on the issues, both candidates agree the economy is number one. Recent polling proving that, showing inflation top of voters' minds here. But Hayes also pushing on social issues, telling me today everything, even reproductive health, is connected to the economy. Logan, however, believes social issues aren't a factor for residents here, saying affordability will push people to the polls. Both candidates still very confident in these last 4 days. Jen?
All right, Emma, thank you. Well, the morning commute was a little foggy today. Check this out. These were the conditions we woke up to in Hartford.
Whoa.
Can't see anything. That's the highway, for the record. But thankfully, the fog started to clear throughout the day and the sun came out, and it was beautiful out.
And look at that. Friday's almost over and it's time for the weekend.
Woo-hoo.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Hi, Rach.
Hi, we're going to go from warm the last few days to warmer. We're talking about highs that will approach records heading into the day tomorrow, Sunday, and even Monday before we end up cooling things back down to average for this time of year. Right now it's 68 degrees in Hartford. We're close to the 60-degree mark for the New Haven area as the sun has set. Temperatures right now are in the 60s across the state. We made it up around 70 degrees though earlier today, and the satellite and radar is quiet. There could be some areas of fog. Here we go again. It's starting to develop for the New Haven area, down to quarter-mile visibility there. While I do expect some fog to develop overnight, I don't think it will be as dense as it was this morning, and it'll burn away, revealing another warm afternoon as high temperatures soar and approach records in the low to mid 70s tomorrow afternoon. It will be more cloudy heading into the next couple of days, and also a breeze. We'll talk about the full weekend forecast and when we cool back down again coming up.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Well, new tonight, we've learned a second pedestrian was hit in a crash on I-91 in New Haven that killed an off-duty firefighter. State police today saying that Bianca Devlin was also hit while standing next to Thomas Mielis right on the side of I-91 northbound in New Haven Wednesday night. Mielis was hit when he got out of his car after a crash. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Devlin was also taken to the hospital with minor injuries. In total, 5 vehicles were involved in the crash. Anyone with any information should contact police.